Wayne, you just recently graduated as a Gestalt Psychotherapist. How was that experience through moving through the course and now spreading your wings into your own practice?
Yes, later this year it's going to be already 2 years that I graduated. Sometimes I miss the studying and the workshops and the seminars because the school of psychotherapy that I studied, Gestalt Psychotherapy, is very experiential. So you learn a lot by seeing, listening, and also trying, because part of the studies were that we have to be a psychotherapist with a fellow student colleague in front of the class. So that's one part of it. The other part is that it feels that I am doing and working what I am passionate about in my life. So if we take that quote, do something that you love and you won't need to work a day in your life. Well, it's still work, but it's not something that I feel that I'm doing just for the money, or that I just, enjoy it a bit. It's one of my passions to be present with someone, and in some way, shape or form, I may help, guide, support, whatever word you want to take, to know a bit more themselves, be a bit more self-aware, process certain thoughts, feelings, emotions, memories, worries in a slightly different way that perhaps can be a fresh way how they can see life or see a situation. So that feels good. And in my private practice, so I do work full-time with a local agency where we give psychotherapeutic support to families with a lot of difficulties. But in my own private practice, I also enjoy it because now I am finally doing what I've been studying for the past 10 years. Okay, so when I graduated, it was a 10-year journey. 3 years bachelor, 2 years break to see what I want to do, and then 4 or 5 years of masters.
That wasn't the place where you started. You started in a different career path, right?
Yes, I had started in IT. And I worked in IT for about 8 years, from around 1920 till like 27, I think, something like that. And I did it at the time, so I chose IT when I was, I think, 18, because this can be an avenue of work where I can do this. So at that time, either I did not have enough guidance, external guidance, to help me do or study something which is related to my wishes, passions, and skills. Or possibly I also did not have my own inner guidance at the time. It was not yet developed enough for me to say, wait, is this something that I want to do for the rest of my life, or a big chunk of my life? Because you can still change. But I wasn't ready at the time. But then life always shows you where you may need to go for your own well-being, peace of mind, or happiness. And for me, it was when I was working in IT, I had an amazing salary, amazing benefits. I was working in gaming. And I was enjoying sort of the time with my colleagues. But when I was solving problems and technical issues, it was more rewarding for me the 2 to 5 minutes I was talking to the person, or maybe 10 minutes, and the satisfaction that I supported or I helped you in some way, rather than the satisfaction of solving the technical issue.
Okay.
And that was a very big hint.
How did you realize this? It was a profound moment, I would say. How did you?
I can't pinpoint it to one single moment. It was a mix and a progression of several moments. First of all, that I was not feeling well at work because I was on call for a long time, and if a technical issue happens at 5 or 6, you have to stay there until you solve it. So there were these hints. My body was already telling me that this is not perhaps good for you, or how you are working, or how you are employing your coping skills at work. Something is not right. I had a lot of anxiety, unprocessed emotions, unprocessed stuff, which were related due to the stress and long hours of work I used to work. So that was the first hint. Then, what I just mentioned. Another hint was that at the time I had come out of a very difficult breakup, and for the first time in my life I was like, listen, meditation and speaking to friends is not enough. I need to seek some professional support. I had even started to take, I took it briefly, only some anxiety medication. It was that bad. I had went to a professional. But then I said, listen, I need to find a professional. And I asked around, and there was this therapist, and I started going, and I immediately liked it. I didn't just like the concept of therapy of me as a client and how I was already benefiting as a client, since I was processing all these things and finding new coping strategies, but also as a potential psychotherapist in the other chair.
So you sort of had a eureka moment there.
Yes, it felt good. And then, we just mentioned it earlier, life shows you the way if you are willing to see or listen to it. And nowadays we get caught too much in the rat race of life to see these signs or these moments where life tells you, hey, why don't you try this? Why don't you consider this? And I was talking to a friend, and long story short, he told me, I thought that I needed some A-levels, which I didn't have, to study the Bachelor's of Psychology at university. And he told me, no, man, you just need to apply as a mature student and do one basic entrance exam, which was a few topics of biology. And the rest is history.
So that kickstarted your journey.
Yes.